Joining us now on the Splash Live is Jeff Nagarah, one of the co-owners of Premier Pet Supply with stores all across Oakland County, including right here close to home in West Bloomfield. Jeff, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, happy to have you on as we recently have been through a heat wave, some unseasonably warm temperatures, felt more like August than June when it happened. But as we get closer and closer to those later days of the summer where we have high humidity and high heat and the sun is beaming, what should we keep in consideration for our four-legged friends as we go outside and have a great summer with them?
Well, we definitely want to be mindful of how hot it is. Once it starts getting, more than 80 degrees, you want to be very quick with the walks you're taking. You want to make sure they stay very well hydrated. You don't want to keep them out too long. And those are just some of the basics that we recommend. Kind of the same thing as yourself. Once you start getting a little faint or start feeling a little warm, it might almost be too late. So you want to just make sure you're staying hydrated and staying cool.
And so what are some ways that people can go about that? Obviously, taking lots of water breaks would be one of them, but what are maybe some other steps that people may not think about as they're about our community?
So some of the things you might not think about, we offer cooling vests and cooling collars, which are really nice. It's something that you can put on just like you would a regular harness or collar. They come with ice packs, so you throw those in the freezer, get them nice and cold, throw them on your dog, and that way they can stay cool through those walks. If you want to leave them in the backyard or they go outside to use the restroom, something you can throw on so that they can stay cool and hydrated, and you don't have to worry about them overheating. Dogs, unfortunately, don't sweat like we do. They don't have those regular sweat glands. So a lot of times they're panting a whole lot or they're sweating through their paws. So again, if you're on a long walk and the sidewalk is hot to the touch, if you were to put your hand down, imagine if you're walking barefoot on the asphalt. It could be 80 degrees outside, but if that sun's out, it could be over 120 degrees, and that would burn very quickly. So you want to be mindful of those things.
Jeff Nagarah is with us from Premier Pet Supply with locations across our local area, including in the Orchard Mall on Orchard Lake Road in West Bloomfield Township, as we think about our pets and the great outdoors throughout this Greater West Bloomfield summer. Jeff, another concern we have this time of the year is with the heat in our cars. Look, it takes forever for the air conditioning to make it temperate for us. How does that affect our pets?
It's one of those things where once it gets warm in the car, it could, again, I like to say the 80-degree rule. If it's 80 degrees outside, it's going to be 120 in the car with the windows up. So do not leave your pets in the car. Please, please, please. If you're going anywhere, leave them home or take them with you. We're fortunate to have an opportunity for you to bring your pet with you into the store, and it can be a really fun experience. Just the same way as you take your child to a toy store, bring your pet in, let them shop around. It'll give them a break from being in the heat. Our stores are cool with air conditioning, so it's really nice. But definitely have the windows down. Definitely start your car ahead of time before you put your animal in. They'll overheat quicker than we will. So we want to make sure that we're being mindful of those things. It's very, very important.
How can our local pet store be helpful in us making these sound decisions and having the provisions in place to help our pets when they're experiencing some of these common ailments that even we do during the summer?
So make sure your animals are well hydrated. Make sure you're taking those walks earlier in the morning or later in the evening. When it's midday, do not go outside. Just like we don't want to be out midday doing work. It's very difficult. We do have some sunscreens that you can put on, because your pet's nose is one of those areas that does have very soft skin. And you want to make sure that you have the UV protection on there to help them out, just like we do with our face and our arms when we're out in the sun, because it can get sunburnt. So it's important that we take those protocols. We also have cooling toys that they can chew on, something that you can throw in the freezer. So it could be nice and ice cold. So as they're biting on it, they can hydrate that way and kind of just keep them cool in general. So those are some of the ailments and some of the things you want to watch out for.
More information on services and locations, times for Premier Pet Supply if you're looking to get some of these provisions for your pet yourself, including in the Greater West Bloomfield location on Orchard Lake Road. PremierPetSupply.com or on Facebook at Premier Pet Supply. That is Premier, P-R-E-M-I-E-R, Pet Supply. Joining us is one of their co-owners, Jeff Nagarah, on today's edition of the Splash Live. Lastly, we want to look for those symptoms that, hey, maybe our dog is in distress, or our outdoor cat or other pet may be in distress this time of the year. We know some of the symptoms are very visible in humans. What do they look like for dogs or for other animals?
You'll see heavy panting. You'll see kind of just a lack of energy. You'll see that you'll be calling your pet to come to you, and they're not responding the way that you would hope. Those are all signs that there could be dehydration or heat exhaustion. So you want to make sure you're taking, you want to be preventative before that happens.
And lastly, Jeff, as we talked about some of those products that are available, some of the advice that's available, now why is it better to go to a local pet store than it is to go to one of those maybe big chains throughout our local area to get some more of this advice or to engage with some of these products?
So with us being a local family-owned company, we've been doing it for more than 30 years. We have the experience and we have the knowledge. We have the staff that truly cares. And not to say those big stores don't, but it's one of the things that we really put forward and ahead. And we are always encouraging our staff to do more training, to learn more, so that when you come in, we're giving you the proper knowledge, we're giving you the proper attention and the focus that you need. Our big thing is when you come in, we're going to say hello, we're going to give you a few moments, we're going to come follow up. And I notice when you go to any big box store, it's more of just, even if you get a hi, nobody's coming to you to talk to you. And if they do, they're just pointing to a space in the store for you to go to. We actually will walk you to the aisle, answer all your questions, and make sure that when you leave, you have been fully taken care of, with any items or any products or any questions that you have. And if we don't have the answer, we're not gonna lie to you. We're gonna make sure that we look it up, and we'll reach back out to you to get you that proper information.
It's not many times you can take your dog with you to the mall and no one's going to bat an eye at you. No one's going to ask if they're a service dog. They're going to just say, hey, look, another friendly neighbor out here with their dog at the Orchard Mall. Jeff, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it. Thanks for having us on.